What's up you guys, my name is Marlon and welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys once again for tuning in. As always, if you haven't done so, please make sure to subscribe as we're trying to reach 2,000 subs on the channel. Also, please make sure to leave a like, comment, share if you can, as it makes a massive difference. So before I get into the topic of this video, I do want to wish you guys a happy new year. This is the first video of 2021 for me. So thank you guys for all the love and support in 2020. We're going to try to make sure that we make 2021 a really good year on YouTube. Also, I wanted to know what are some of your resolutions for this year. So if you don't mind sharing, just put them in the comment section. Me personally, obviously I have a couple of resolutions, but for the most part, I'm just happy to be here, after such a rough year last year. I'm just glad that I'm healthy, my family's healthy, my friends as well. Obviously my main goal, well, I don't know if that's my main goal, but it's definitely one of my top priorities is just being on YouTube as much as possible so we can grow this channel. With the help of you guys, is going to make the difference for sure. In today's video, we're going to be talking about hair, and that's something that I haven't done in this channel in a little bit. So I'm glad to finally get back to it. Listen, if you're a dude, maybe your resolution for 2021 is to get your hair to grow. You're trying to get some braids. You want to get your hair to grow, but you don't really know where to start. You don't know what to do. So the point of this video today is to kind of give you guys tips on how to help your hair growth, and also how to make sure you don't damage it, so that your hair can grow faster. Obviously your goal is to have hair that's long, but also you want it to be healthy. So we're gonna get started. Without further ado, let's cut to the intro. Alright guys, so tip number one for hair growth is having a set routine. There's 4 steps to a healthy hair routine, and I've talked about this in a previous video. If you guys haven't seen it, please make sure to check it out. I'm gonna include it in the little eye up there. There's the washing, deep conditioning, moisturizing, and sealing, and then finally the styling. In my opinion, especially if you're getting started, the most important should be the washing, deep conditioning, and moisturizing. I think those are the things that you should really focus on. For washing, you want to avoid shampoos that have sulfate in them. The reason why is because sulfate is something that removes oil and dirt from your hair, but the issue is your hair still needs oil naturally so that it doesn't break. And obviously if your hair breaks, it's not going to grow as fast. The one I personally use is the one from Earth Tones Naturals. I'm going to include a link in the description. I've been using it for 2 years. I swear by it. For someone like me that has hair that's 4C type, so it's very rough, kinky, strong, the curls are tight. I need something that's easier to apply, that feels smooth, and it's almost like I could use it as like a deep conditioner. I don't, obviously, but that's just how good it feels on my hair. When it comes to deep conditioning, you should be deep conditioning your hair at least once a week, in my opinion. Personally, I don't wash my hair too often. I wash it about once every 2 weeks, and obviously when I do, I make sure to do a nice full wash day, so my hair is very clean when when I'm done. When it comes to deep conditioning, if my hair is out, if it's not braided or twisted, I deep condition every week. What it does is going to nourish, moisturize, and hydrate your hair. Moisturized hair is going to grow a lot faster than dry hair, obviously, because dry hair is going to break, right? So that's why it's really important. The 2 products I would mention, the 2 products I would suggest, well, the ones that I've used are the Intensive Hydrating Deep Treatment from Earth Tones Naturals and the Algae Renew Deep Conditioner from Cami Rose. These are my suggestions. Obviously, there's a lot more, so do your research. But personally, that's what I use. I'm gonna put the links in the description if you guys are interested. When it comes to your hair routine, you should definitely have a solid shampoo, sulfate-free, a good deep conditioner. A leave-in conditioner is also very important. But those are really the main things. Then obviously you have your oils and your gels, but that's more extra. But if you want healthy hair, that's what you should focus on. Tip number 2 is something that may not be mentioned as often, but I think it's very important, and it's to use the women that you have in your life. Women know a lot more about hair than we do in general, on average. Like they've been doing it their whole life. For guys, usually it's something we get interested in a bit later, maybe in your 20s, some guys in their 30s. Either way, there's so much stuff they can teach you when it comes to hair. If you've been feeling this lady, man, you've been trying to talk to her, asking her about hair products and what she's been using is a great way to get the conversation started. Listen, man, I'm trying to get my hair to grow, this and that, I see your hair, I see it looking good, so I would like to know what you've been using. And man, watch her do this.
Oh yeah, so I use this, I use that, you should use this.
I'm telling you, it's a great way to get them to talk and open up. And obviously, listen, if she's feeling you, then awesome. It could turn into something better and some more. Now, fellas, if you ask her about hair and then you try to slide in on something else and she curves you, don't get back to me and say it didn't work. Listen, that's not my fault, man. She's just not feeling you, but it is a way to get the conversation going. Women know a lot of stuff about hair. They know a lot of stuff about skin. Ask them questions, man. They know a lot of stuff. You know how much I've learned from my girlfriend when it comes to skin in general? I learned so much from her. So guys, use the women that you have at your disposal and ask for help, man. Tip number 3, guys, is protecting your hair at night. So when you're sleeping, that's when a lot of the damage is done, because obviously you're in bed, you're rolling around, you're turning your head, so it's causing a lot of like tears and breakage in your hair, So really the best ways to avoid that is to either wear some type of do-rag, so whether it's silk, satin. I would stay away from the suede. I know it's a big trend right now. I know a lot of people use them, when they have waves, but when it comes to curls, I don't think it's the best thing to use. I would stay away from that. Personally, I'm more of a satin guy. But yeah, just use that. If you're not going to use a do-rag, let's say your hair is a bit too big, so you don't want to use like a do-rag. If you're not going to do that, then definitely get some satin pillows. Satin pillows is kind of like having a do-rag base. You don't have to wear anything, but it still feels like your hair is wrapped up in a do-rag because it's so soft. And it's also good for your skin. So definitely use one of those techniques to avoid issues at night. But yeah, I would say definitely make sure to protect your hair. That's tip number 3. Tip number 4, guys, is using protective hairstyles. So if you guys notice, I used 2 pictures in the thumbnail, and those 2 pictures are actually pretty far apart. I think it's about 2 years of difference. So congratulations, you got clickbaited, nigga. On a serious note though, like back in 2019, I was doing 2-strand twists a lot, and I noticed a huge progress when it comes to hair growth. So this year I did that again, and that's also one of the reasons why I wasn't doing as much hair content, is because I was just letting my hair sit in protective hairstyles. I was doing a lot of braids, and now I'm doing more of the 2-strand twist. But I noticed such a big change, and I'm gonna show you guys. So when my girl started braiding my hair this year, I think it was around like April or May, and as you can tell from this picture and video, like, yeah, my hair was long per se, but it wasn't long for braids. Now it's what, like 6-7 months later, and I noticed a big difference. It comes from protective hairstyles. Usually what you do when you do a protective hairstyle is you're gonna wash your hair, deep condition it, either braid it or twist it, and just leave it. That's the great thing about protective hairstyle, is that you're not, always touching your hair and, pulling on it, all that stuff. What I usually do is I use like a 3-to-1 method. So it's kind of like I braided or twisted for 3 weeks, and then I take it out, let my hair breathe for a week, and I do it again. Over the course of 4, 5, 6 months, a year, you see a huge difference, as you can see in the picture. So to me, that's honestly probably one of the best ways to get your hair to grow, is just using protective hairstyles. And also it's nice because you're able to switch up. Now the one downside to protective hairstyles is that's kind of like a level up of the hair growth journey. Obviously you need to have some type of length. So for the guys that are just starting, so like let's say your hair is pretty short, you're not going to be able to do that. But after about 8-9 months, you should be able to start. And then once you start, you'll see a big difference. So yeah. And what you can do to accelerate the hair growth even more when you're doing protective hairstyles is use oils. So a great oil to use is Jamaican black castor oil. I would say it's the best for hair growth. You just apply it a couple times a week, maybe about 3 times a week to your braids or twists. You just apply it to the roots, and you'll see a big difference over time. Me personally, Jamaican black castor oil I think is a bit too thick for my hair, so I like to mix it with jojoba oil. I think those two are really good for your hair. Jojoba is a lot better for me personally because it's just a lot lighter, so it's a lot easier to apply. So I just mix the two and try to apply it as often as I can. I'm not gonna lie, I'd be slacking on the oil part, but recently I started applying it a lot more, and I did notice a difference. And last tip, guys, tip number 5, avoid stressing as much as you can. Stress is honestly the worst thing for your hair. When you notice guys that have been stressing, they've been stressed at work, they've been stressing with the ladies, whatever, you notice that a couple things happen. Usually their hairline will start to recede, they'll lose hair, their hair starts to break, and you probably notice it, in your life as well. Stress plays a huge part. In about 3 days, I'm gonna be 26. And the period from like 25 to 30 is crucial when it comes to your hair. If you're stressing too much, if you're like putting on a lot of unnecessary stress in your life, that's when you can see a huge change in your hairline and in your hair in general. So I'm making sure I stay as stress-free as possible. Obviously, it's a panoramic, right?
Because it's a panoramic. Okay.
So it's a lot harder to avoid stressing because there's just a lot of anxiety in the air, right? But if you can, really try to avoid stressing, and also stop stressing about seeing your hair grow, because the more you think about it, the slower it's gonna feel like it's gonna go. Find something to do, find a hobby, just do other stuff that's gonna help you kind of keep your mind away from checking your hair every day and seeing if it grew or whatever. Just find something else to do, and you'll see that your hair will feel like it grew a lot faster. And that's why I like protective hairstyles, is because you just twist them, you braid them, and you just leave them alone for 3 weeks, and then you can reassess whether it's grown or not. But like I said, stop stressing, stop thinking about it. If there's anything in your life that you can remove and avoid that's that's gonna reduce your stress levels, definitely do so. If you do that, you'll see a major change in your hair growth. Alright guys, so that was it for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please make sure to comment, share, subscribe, whatever. I'm always down to talk to you guys, so if you have any questions, also DM me on Instagram. I'll put it on the screen. Besides that, that was it from me. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Happy New Year once again. My name is Marlon, and I'll see you guys next time.